Hey, hey, hey. I hope that you all are having a blessed day. So the reason why I'm on is because I just feel so deeply in my spirit that, somebody has went back. You went back. It's like you went through a long period of waiting for God to come through for you. So much so that you had gotten to a place to where you gave up on God. You gave up on waiting. And so you went back into doing things that you used to do. But you've waking up to it. It's like, and you realize that this is not what you were supposed to be doing. This is not where you are supposed to be. And it's like you thought that going back to doing the things that you used to do would begin to feel that voidness, that emptiness, from the lack of feeling like, God couldn't hear you. And I just keep hearing this song by Johnny Taylor, and it's Still Crazy for You. And it's like you've waken up to your faults. You realize that you messed up, but your love for God is still on fire. You're still crazy for him, and you love him, you love him, you love only him. And you recognize that which you were getting ready to settle for, it cannot amount to what God has for you. And you've grown so much, and you're to the point now where you finally feel that you have enough patience to wait on him, regardless to how long it's going to take. You're going to wait. And, it's like the enemy is kind of playing with your mind and making you feel like, because you slipped up, you got caught up momentarily in your feelings and you've given up on God. The enemy he's playing with you, and he's trying to make you think because you did what you did, God's arms are no longer open for you. Well, the devil is a lie. God is calling you back, just like you're calling him back. Just like you're letting him back into your life again, after making the mistake that you did. And God he's wide open. He's wanting you. He never stopped wanting you. Let's not mistake this, you all. We fall away. We go astray. But remember one thing about God. God is the same. He does not change. Even when we slip away, he still stays faithful to us, and he is still faithful to forgive us. And the things that he's going to do for us is not for our good anyway. And know this, regardless to whatever you do, God already knew that you were going to do it before you did it. And God allows certain things to happen. You feel like because you possess imperfection, God would never want to do anything with you. Well, the devil is a lie. God still sees you the way that he saw you when he formed you and when he created you in the womb. He saw you. He saw your imperfections. And know one thing about God, he's not judgmental to us, how some of us may feel that he is. We're the judgmenters, to ourselves. We come down hard on ourselves, and God is love. God is not like that in any way. Now, let's not mistake when you're his that he won't put you in your place and tell you about yourself to wake you up and put you back where you need to be. Oh, yes, he will. But his love for you will never change. And remember, God chastises those that he loves. There was something very important I needed to tell you. Let's see if he'll bring it back to me. I'll just keep talking. He may bring it back to me again. But it's like you're in a place of feeling that your imperfections has cut you off, and The devil is a lie. There's nothing that you could do that could ever stop God from loving you and from being there for you. God allows us to do certain things because it's going to bring out the best in us. Remember, no matter, regardless to however long it takes for us to wake up to who God is, it does not take away what the promise is that God has for us. Regardless to how long it takes, know that God is a God of his word, and that promise that he spoke to you, it has to come to pass. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how tired you are of waiting. It doesn't matter when you walk away. Guess what? God knew he was going to do that for you. Did that anyway. So it's still God's timing. You know, we can prolong things. The enemy can cause us to be delayed as well, but it's still God's time, and God allows everything to happen to perfect you and to being who he called you to be. So some of us look at our shortcomings, but the God that we serve, he'll take that mess, that what you think is impossible, to come back up to par, to come back to, you know, the greatness that God has called you to. God will take that mess and bless you right there in that mess and show you that regardless to what you did that might have, you know, threw you off course, not God off course. God gonna come through regardless. You know, he'll take that mess and just, it could be in 1 minute. It could be an instant thing. But it is according to our faith. It is according to what we believe. And most of us, we possess what we need, which is God. God is with us, okay? But our mindset has not yet awakened to what it truly means to have faith. When you have faith, that means that you recognize who lives in you. And because he is in you, that which you speak must come forth. But it takes faith. You have to believe in the words that you speak. If you do not possess faith, then faith without works is dead. So if you speak something and you don't believe first that it's possible for you, that it can happen for you, then it's dead. It has nothing to water it. It has nothing to feed it so that it can come to pass, because it's like you're just speaking things, and it's just like a reef blowing in the wind, going to and fro, and it's just amounting to nothing because you don't realize the power that God has placed in you, the authority that we have walking here on earth. And some of us, you know, we could hear God tell us things 1,000 times, and we are too afraid to step up and walk into it. You can't be in God and think that fear is going to be able to remain there. That's a lie. God will take you through some things, baby, to make sure that he pulls out from you everything that goes against his will and his purpose for you. And you'll be like, God, you told me to step out here, and you told me to do this here. Then I just feel like you just left me. Well, he ain't leave you. He's placing you in a situation so that you could realize that regardless to what it looks like, God is with you. And with that being said, who could be against you? And what besides your maker can cause it to fail? You can't even cause your purpose to fail, you know, and most of us, once you come to terms with who God is and how he operates in us, then that's when the blessing can begin to come forth, and you can begin to shift things by that which you speak. I'm talking about just opening your mouth and having the faith of a mustard seed. That's all you need. And believing in that which you call forth, that it's possible to happen, you could shift your situation instantly. Most of us, we speak things And then we go back in our mind. It's like we're talking and we're speaking things forth. And then we go back in our mind, and then the devil right there. Oh man, I wonder if that could be really possible. I wonder if you speak something, it don't matter how powerful it is that you speak. But if you allow that voice in your head to cause you to doubt, it's nothing. It's nothing. You just talking, but just learn to have faith in that which you speak, and learn that regardless to whatever it is that you have done in your life, come to terms that God is not finished with you yet. It doesn't matter. You fell off course. We passed that. God has forgiven you. You can stop crying out, God, take me back. He heard every word that you spoke. But one thing that he's going to ensure is that you stick to the word which you speak. So you may still feel like he's distant and that he's not there. But God is just causing us to come into, most of the time he causes us to fall into a place to where we search ourselves. We search our hearts. And when you search yourself, you're supposed to come to terms with seeking out. Because during that time when he allows you to search yourself, he causes you to basically diagnose those things within you that's causing us to feel that God is not there with us, that the secret things that we take and we push deep down. Yes, God will get you to a certain point in life where he just brings all of that stuff out of you, and he shows you that it wasn't hidden from him anyway. So you can stop pushing it down. Just let it out. Realize that God is there. He has not forsaken you. Tell yourself that regardless to what your situation looks like, it's still happening for you. It's still possible for you. God's hand will not fail you. You have to learn how to speak those things out with the authority that God has placed in you, and know that that which you speak, it is possible to come to pass. Whoever you are, stop beating yourself up. You can stop crying out to God. He has heard you, and today he has answered your prayers through his faithful servant who's going to speak whatever he places in my heart to speak. God knows that you love him. He's heard you. He has forgiven you. Forgive yourself and begin to move forward in your walk with Christ. He's not as bad as some of us like to think, okay? Just ease your mind. He knows that you're still on fire for him. Just begin to ease your mind and just move forward. I love you all, and you all be blessed. And I started reading my emails, so I'll be responding to you all shortly. Just give me some more time. I love you all, and you all be blessed, okay? I'll see you all next time. Good night.